A couple of days ago on Facebook over the weekend, I saw this really amazing post about, it had a picture of a wrist with many different multicolored lines on it. And each line had a representation due to its color. And it said that during this week of the 10th of December through the 8th through the 12th, to put any color on your wrist that applies to you if you feel comfortable doing it. And I decided to do that. And I didn't really wear it yesterday because I completely forgot about it until today. So I did do it. In case you can't see, it's really hard with my wrist and how it bends and how I drew the lines, apparently, to really notice. I only drew the ones that really did apply to me because there were a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was a total of 8 because I drew 6 lines on my wrist and there were 8 lines in total. I didn't draw 2 of them because they didn't apply to me. And I'm going to go in order from the first line, which is right here, and describe them to you what they are and describe how they really apply to me. The first line is pink, and pink is describing being bullied, if you've ever been bullied. And honestly, I've been bullied most of my life, ever since I could remember. It started really, I think, in 2nd grade, and it escalated because of something happened to me during the 4th grade, through the rest of my elementary years into middle school years, and I had to take medication because of a health issue that I had that involved my kidneys, and they had terrible side effects like weight gain. I had a lot of puffiness in my face. I gained probably a good 25 pounds. I was a lot pudgier, and people would say horrible, nasty things to me, and they still continue to, and they just get worse by the day. But I try and manage them as much as I can, and a lot of people don't really understand how much they do hurt to hear words like that. And honestly, I'd rather see them written down because I forget things more when they're written down than hearing them. And I think that's how most people are, because when they hear someone say something, it sticks with them more than if they see it in a text or in a comment on something. And we'll get back to this point because this point relates to a lot of other points. The second color, you can't really see because, of course, it's really dull, is yellow. And yellow describes depression. It was during that time in 4th grade that I really became depressed because of things that people were saying about me and things that had been going on in my life at that time. I had some family problems with one of my aunts, one of my mom's sisters, who was living nearby, and it was not a fun situation. I had all these doubts about myself. I never smiled, really. I always put on this facade of being happy so I could go on with my normal everyday life, and no one really understood that. Not many people would look at me and say I'm depressed if you saw me in my normal everyday life, because I do have those people around me that make me want to be better and make me want to feel happy. Other times I just want to break down and cry because I just do not want to deal with my everyday life. And that's what depression does to you. It makes you feel horrible inside. And once again, this topic will come back up due to other topics that I have. Purple is the next color. It's kind of weird to see on my wrist because it's not really a purple color. It's like more of an indigo, but it's purple. And purple describes being in love, if you've ever been in love. And of course, I think a good 99.9% of us can say that we've been in love at some point in our life, whether it was good love, bad love, or we still are in love right now. And honestly, I had those times when I was in love with people, and I do still love people to death. I am in love with a person right now, and I'm in love with myself, so I count that as something, because I do love me for being me and for standing up for everything that I am right now. And I do love another person, and I hope they know that, because I love all my friends and my family from the bottom of my heart, but this type of love runs more deep and it is a different type of emotion that I've never really felt before. And I hope that person knows how much I care about them and how much they mean to me and how thankful I am to have them in my life, because I don't think they ever really will understand, because they're the only person that I've really described most of these emotional turmoils and things to, besides a select group of people. This is the person I've gone the most in depth with and knows most of my deepest, darkest secrets that I've never been able to tell another soul. And it's hard to say that I can't really trust people, but I do trust people with all my heart if I can trust them. It's just hard to trust myself with information to give to other people, because I don't want them to see me as... There was one experience in my life where I thought I was broken, and I don't want people to see me as that. So it's hard to reveal information to people and have them trust you. And to trust them with that information and try and help you to move on from that. And I thank the person that I do love with all of my heart, from the bottom of my heart, for being there for me and always being there for me. And I hope you always will be. The next line is blue. And that represents gay, lesbian, and bi. And I myself personally am bisexual. And everyone gets surprised when I say that. I don't find it surprising. Literally, it's just who I am. I don't really care. Really, if you just are a good person, I don't care what gender you are. I will love you to death, emotionally, relationship-wise, or friendship-wise, or whatever. Just don't be a hurtful person and be a good influence in my life, and I will love you eternally. That's how I view things. And I don't care what people really think, because most people, when I do reveal if I am bi, it's not really a secret. If I do reveal that to them, they're pretty shocked that I tell them that, and they are just like, "You are bi?" And I'm like, "Yeah, so what?" Anyway, next color, orange. Once again, can't really see it. It's really faint on my arm. But orange represents being heartbroken. And of course, most of us in our lives have been heartbroken. And I had my heart broken probably about twice because of relationships. But there are other times of heartbreak. There are types of heartbreak that you experience when you experience a great loss. And I've experienced a couple of those things over the past few years, where you experience just that great loss of a person or something that means so much to you that it just breaks your heart. It's not even just breaking up with a person that you thought you loved or that you actually did care about greatly. It's just that loss is what heartbreak is. And that I've experienced both of those types of heartbreak, and neither of them are good experiences to go through. You do have to work on with them, and it takes a lot of work, but you will get past them. The last line is black. And this is the one that most people are kind of ashamed to admit to having on their arm, if they do, or admitting to another person. And black represents suicidal thoughts. Once again, I go back to those points of being depressed and being bullied, and those types of situations that you're in that affect you. They make you feel like you're not worthy of life. They make you feel like you're not worthy of happiness or love or things that normal people have. And it hurts to think those things. Have I done any actions to try to? No. I have had thoughts, though. I've had horrible thoughts, especially during my elementary school years, 4th grade through 6th grade, when I was just becoming a teenager, that I wasn't worthy of life and that I just wanted to die because of things people were saying about me and how people were treating me and how I felt just alone and cast aside as not even being a human being, but just being alienated by people who were my peers, who I thought would get along with me, and just alienated me and pushed me to the side like I didn't even matter. And that's one of those things that can really affect a person for the rest of their life. And I will continue to have those thoughts. I am ashamed to say that. but I will continue to have those thoughts, because once they are input in your mind, it's hard to get them out. A lot of the hurtful things people are saying are just get worse day to day. Have I thought recently about suicide? No. But I've thought a lot about what most people have said, and I still feel unworthy of many things. And when people say those types of things to you that really get to you, it just makes you feel unworthy of being happy. And I just want to be an example to show you that it's okay to tell people the truth about what you really are and what has happened. Don't be ashamed of the things that you have done and will do. Do not be afraid to speak your mind. Do not be terrified to tell people that you have thought of committing suicide, or you've been bullied or depressed or something that you find to be horrible, because most people are going through this same exact situation you are right now. And it might be hard to believe that, but they might be able to help you. They might be able to come together and help you and become friends and make you see the brighter side of life and every situation that you're in. The other two lines that I don't have on my wrist that didn't apply to me are the color red, which is to be a bully. If you had ever been a bully in your life, I don't see myself as being a bully. There are times where I felt I have hurt people really with words and actions that I have done, but I do not consider myself a bully, because it had not really been in a hurtful way. It was in a defensive way to try and see myself in a better light. And it was sort of that self protection, that defensive mechanism that you have internally to defend yourself and people that you love. The other color was green, which represents eating disorders. Many people, of course, when I was in 4th and 6th grade and I had to take that medication that made me gain weight, people, of course, would call me fat. And one of the words that I remember most being called was lemon head, because my face had just become more puffy. So people would consider it like a lemon. So I didn't really think about it. I knew the reason why it was happening. It still hurt that people were saying that, but I knew why it was happening. It wasn't because I was eating too much. It wasn't because I was gaining weight intentionally. And after that all happened, I grew taller, so of course I slimmed down. And not many people have said that many hurtful things about my figure now. Most people just are amazed about how skinny I am and how healthy my weight is. And I'm proud of that I can come out and experience like that and still be intact and still be happy with who I am. I just wanted to make this video once again to show you guys something that I think most people should be doing right now, to represent not only yourself, but to show other people how strong you are, and to show people that you are not alone in situations that they might be going through. I'm going to be wearing this for the rest of the week. I'm going to redraw these on my arm if they wash off, and I will hope to see many more people doing it. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me, and I would be glad to help you guys in any situation that you might be going through and any thoughts that you might have. I want to be helpful to people who might be going through the same things I'm going through, and I want people to help me through some things.